Hello everybody, Jonathan Rayo here with Simplified Guitar, and in this lesson I want to teach you how to play the song Homecoming by Cory Asbury. As always, I'm going to play through the song for you first, and then at the end I'll break it down and explain it to you in more detail. So first, let's go ahead and play through the song.
Lord, I confess that I've been a criminal. I've stolen your breath and sang my own song. Lord, I confess that I'm far from innocent. These shackles I wear, oh, I bought on my own. These scarlet sins had a crimson cost. You nailed my debt to that old rugged cross. An empty slave at the empty grave. Thank God that stone was rolled away. Lord, I confess I've been a prodigal, made for your house, but I walked my own roads. When Jesus came, He tore down my prison walls. Death came to life when He called me by name. The scarlet sins had a crimson cost. You nailed my debt to that old rugged cross. An empty slave at the empty grave. Thank God that stone was rolled. The scarlet sins had a crimson cost. You nailed my debt to that old rugged cross. An empty slave at the empty grave. Thank God that stone was rolled away. I see bright crimson roads draped over the ashes, a wide open tomb where there should be a casket. The children are singing and dancing and laughing. The Father is welcoming. This is our homecoming. Roses in bloom pushed up from the embers. Our rivers of tears flow from good times remembered. Families are singing and dancing and laughing. The Father is welcoming. This is our homecoming. Heaven joins in with the glorious sound, and the great cloud of witnesses all gather round. 'Cause the ones that were lost are finally found. The Father is welcoming. This is our homecoming. Scarlet sins had a crimson cost. You nailed my debt to that old rugged cross. An empty slave at the empty grave. Thank God that stone was rolled away.
Alright, so for this song we're only going to be using 4 chords from the C chord family, and I'm going to be playing it with my capo on the 2nd fret. So that means I'm going to be in the key of D, even though I'm using the C chord family chords. Now, if you find it that it's too high for you to sing in this key, you can just take the capo and remove it, or drop it down 1 fret if you want to, just to change that key, and you can use the exact same chords. So the first chord that we're going to be using is the C chord, which is going to look like this, and we want to make sure not to strum that low E string, so I'm just going to let my thumb touch it. That way, if in case I accidentally do strum it, it's going to be muted and it won't resonate. We also have the A minor 7, which to get there from the C, all we need to do is remove our 3rd finger, so it's a very easy transition. And we're going to play the same 5 strings. We don't want to play that low E string, so I can just keep my thumb there to keep that low E string muted and play those bottom 5 strings. We also have an F over C, which is going to be played like this. So I've got my 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, and that's going to be that C note. That's why it's called the C, F over C, because we have that C note right here. Then I've got my 4th finger on the 3rd fret of the D string. Okay, my 2nd finger is on the 2nd fret of the G string, and my 1st finger is on the 1st fret of the B string. And the high E string is open, and I do not want to play the low E string, so I can keep that low E string muted with my thumb. And then I'm going to strum the 5 strings, the other 5 strings. Now, in some of my other song tutorials, when I use this F over C, sometimes I mention to just strum the 4 strings and to not strum the A string. And that's in the case if it's a really slow song and we're finger picking, we want to hear that F note, which is going to be that D string. Okay? But in this case, because we're strumming through the song, it's a little bit faster. We can play the full F over C, including that A string, and it will sound real nice. And then we're also going to be playing the G chord, which is going to look like this. We're going to use our 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger, and we're going to strum all 6 strings for this chord. Now, the reason we want to use a G in this position with our 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger, instead of a G with our 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, or our 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, like this, is just because of transitions. This G is going to make your transitions a lot easier. So for instance, if we're going from G to C, which we are going to do in this song, we're going to go from G and we're going to go back to C. These 2 fingers are already in the right position. They just need to come down a string each to get to that C chord. So the transition is very easy from this position to go back to the C. If I were to try to play the G like this and go to the C, everything has to move. I got to completely move the entire position of my hand to get there. So it's not wrong to play a G like this or like this. It's just going to be a little bit easier if you can play it like this in this position, get used to this position, because it will make the transitions a lot easier for when you're playing within the chord family, the C chord family. For strumming, we're going to be using the sway pattern, which is a nice, simple 3-beat strum pattern. We're going to have 3 down strums with an up strum added after beat 2 and 3, and then we're going to repeat. We also want to make sure to put our emphasis on beat 1. So every time we start over and we're on beat 1 of the measure, we want to strum really hard on that first beat. So I'm just going to hold the C chord, and I'm going to play that strum pattern for you, and I'm going to count the beats out loud so you can hear what's going on. 1, 2, and 3, and 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 1. All right, I hope you found this lesson useful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in the next lesson. Take care.